As we talk about these numbers on a daily basis, the hours, the production, the gross profit, it is extremely important that you do not lose your humanity. I've seen many really great relationships between technicians and shop owners go awry because the shop owner becomes so wholly focused on profit and the numbers that they forgot what it was like to be in the bay. They forgot what it was like to turn wrenches for a living. And they just said, hey, we build 8 hours for this and you didn't get it accomplished. Now listen, I too am guilty of this. It's because we get so wholly focused on the numbers. We get so wholly focused on what it is that we're seeing in front of us and hitting these targets and hitting these metrics and trying to make sure that we make these things happen, that we kind of lose sight of what it takes to make them happen. Is it a complex job? Did the technician have a bad day? Did they have a hard time sleeping last night? Does their body hurt? Guys, this is an extremely demanding job. And for those of you who have never done it, for those of you who have never turned wrenches, who have laid underneath hot and greasy cars or laid on top of hot and greasy cars trying to fix them, I am going to encourage you just to go back into a bay and spend a day with your technicians and experience what it's like to be back there before you begin to throw shade their way. Now, there are definitely times where the technician needs a little bit of encouragement. The technician needs to be talked to about production and about performance. Absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But it's not a this or that. It's a, hey, help me understand. Help me see where you're at. Help me understand why we're not hitting the metrics that we're supposed to hit. Now, in my shop, we have a rule. It's called MLAP, Minimum Level of Acceptable Performance. Again, not my idea. Someone taught me that. Someone far smarter than me. Minimum level of acceptable performance is a series of standards that we set in the shop on a daily basis that helps us ensure that we're profitable. Technician performance. What is the MLAP for technician build hours on a daily basis? It's 8 hours. Okay, we're here 8 hours a day. We don't work more than 8 hours a day. And as a result, we expect to bill 8 hours a day. But I'm going to tell you something. 99.9% of the time that we're not billing 8 hours a day has nothing to do with the technician. Absolutely nothing. 99.9% of the time, if we're not billing 8 hours a day, it was that we didn't do a good job with scheduling. It's that we didn't do a good job booking our workout. It's that we didn't do a good job billing our workout. It's that we didn't understand the service procedure. It's that we didn't follow the proper process when we estimated the job or when we took the job in as far as the discovery conversation, right? It's rarely the technician. Sometimes it is the technician, and that warrants a conversation to discuss, hey, man, like, what's going on here? Why are we not accomplishing the thing we're supposed to be accomplishing? But I would encourage you to use averages as opposed to looking at this on a daily basis. See, we can be blinded by the KPIs or key performance indicators in our businesses. And if you become so ingrained in those numbers, so focused in those numbers, what will happen is you'll lose sight of what it is to be a human being. You'll lose sight of what it takes to do the job on a daily basis. And you will just absolutely run your people in the ground. And that's not fair. It's not right. So I just want to encourage you, if you have moved into the manager role, if you've moved into primarily the owner role, if you've moved into the service advisor role, or if you've never been a technician, to slow down and remember that the people that you work with are human beings. They have faults, they have struggles, they have good days, they have bad days. What we're looking for is to build systems around that to make us as profitable and productive as possible while taking care of the client, right? We don't want to accidentally take advantage of the client. One of the big terms that we use in the industry is the client shouldn't pay for your education. They do in some ways, but we all can agree that if you don't know what's going on with that car, or you don't understand that car or that system, it's not the client's job to pay for you to learn about that, right? That's done on your time. Now, when I say your time, I'm not talking about technician's time. I'm talking about shop time. I'm talking about that's on the shop. That's not on the client. Look, I guess what I'm trying to encourage you to do here is remember that the people that you work with are human beings. Systematize it. Ensure that what we're doing is the proper thing to be doing. In other words, are we billing correctly? Are we estimating correctly? Are we having the right conversations before the job even gets there? If you will do that, and if you will take some of the focus off of someone not hitting the KPI on a daily basis or an hourly basis, and focus on that person and their average, are they on average hitting their numbers? I think you and your team will have a much better experience working together. That's just my thoughts, rambling on here about nothing. You guys have a great day.